We are live. Welcome to the Video Marketing Masterclass, part two of how to use the power of social media to scale your business. I am excited to have my guest presenter back with us, facilitator, none other than the amazing Juanpa Otalada. Um, First of all, Juanpa, how are you? I appreciate you doubling back to do this again with us. And you just left another training. Juanpa is in high demand. He was in another group doing another training, so uh, he's pulling double duty. He's going to pull out all the stops. Hopefully, he has something left in the tank for us.
Yeah, I was just getting started actually, so I think it warmed me up pretty nicely for this one. So
Oh, there you go. Good stuff. So we'll take all the leftovers that the other group didn't get, and we'll add them to this, and we'll just stack it up high. First of all, let's make sure we got people coming in here. We got some people joining us now. Drop a comment. First of all, if you're in Facebook, make sure that Facebook will allow your name so that we can see you. I love to greet people by name. I know you're going to have questions. I know you have thoughts. So drop a one in the comments so we can know, we can see that you're there. If you can hear us, all is good. Thumbs up or one in the comments. And let's get ready to know. Let us know where you're watching this from. And if by chance you're watching this on replay, drop a hashtag replay and let us know that you're watching this the second go around, so we can make sure that um, you're checking this out and getting this. This is going to be in the guide section of the masterclass. Tim Miller is greeting us. Tim, great to have you here, man. Greetings, party people. Love it. I love it. I love it. Um, okay, and without further ado, Juan's getting screenshots on top of screenshots. There you go. I love it. Hey man, it's all content. And you know what's
exactly.
funny? And what's funny is that there are certain things that we do now that are just normally accepted. It used to be weird if you saw someone out on the street holding a phone recording themselves, and now it's just like normal procedure. Oh, they're a blogger, or they're just people just do that, right? And so I find it interesting when people are still saying things like, I don't feel comfortable on camera. I don't feel comfortable talking on video. Can you talk a little bit about how you help people to navigate through that uncomfortability, right?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I was just in the group and I saw that Tim Miller said greetings, party people, and I gave it a heart. That's awesome. Yeah, so camera, it's conditioning that it's a scary thing because so many things. Like if you say the wrong thing, you don't like the way you sound or look, like the stuff that everybody has been conditioned around being on film, privacy,
Mhm.
like so many things, right? And yeah, I don't know exactly where I wanted to kind of lead you with this, but I love the question, just kind of open ended. My brain kind of goes to, I guess the biggest key takeaway is dropping in to your specifically to your solar plexus, to your stomach. Uh, but you got to drop into your body first, kind of thing, right? You got to drop
Mhm.
into your body so you can activate your instincts.
No, hold on. Now, see, some people say, "What do you mean drop into my body? I'm literally been in my body the whole time." So, what does that mean?
You haven't though. You've been in your head the whole time, probably, most likely.
All right.
You've been thinking a lot, and that's how it works. So I went to acting school for a little bit, and the first thing that we did when we walked into class, like 20 of us, all heady in our heads, because we all come from different places. We
Mhm.
all just get grouped at the end of the day at 6 o'clock with 20 people. So you come with all your stuff from outside. So the first thing that our teacher did was our actress, basically made us play games, improv games.
Mhm.
And the improvisation, the acting of using your instincts to respond is, um, yeah, it's the fastest way to drop into your body. So when well, the first thing that we did was playing the passing the ball game. We had this ball, we passed back and forth, and then before you know it, you're naming things out loud, naming, like, I would say a word, and then uh, whatever word comes to mind, you say it back, and you play that game for a little bit of time, and then you're just, you're in a different dimension. You're dropped into your body, you're laughing, you're being hysterical, you're being present with the person, creating a safe space. Then you open your heart. You have an electromagnetic. We all have electromagnetic fields around us, and when we feel each other's magnetic fields, then they either resonate or they don't, or you basically open your heart and they open up, and then you become part of the same magnetic frequency. And that is by activating your body and your mind, having the
Right.
mind body coherence. But sometimes we're just here and our body's all over the place, all the energy centers are all over the place, and then you can just literally breathe, and then, like, just have them all aligned for a moment. Like, just taking even a small breath right now, it feels like amazing. So then you become present, and then you're like, oh, I'm aware that my body's present. So you start feeling your body. And you do that with breathing or playing games. And so we play a bunch of games. I get you to drop in, and then I ask you a bunch of questions. And that's kind of what we do. I think that's kind of what we talked about in our last calls. Like, how do we enter and in the space, and then exchange information that is prepared. Like, what are your clients' problems and how do you solve them? And then just really answering that, like getting deep into your avatar and your specific skills and traits, and showcasing them alongside with your personality, which is, I think, is what connects with people. Like, your personality is really what people buy anyway, right?
Right. Right.
And like how you communicate, and how you treat clients, how you treat your person, how you treat yourself, how much you love yourself. The more you love yourself, the more people you can help, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love how you always bring in love to that, and the power of connection. Right. We are trying. Ultimately, what we are trying to do is we're trying to use a visual medium technology. I think people think of social media as this organism, right? That they have to combat. That it's like living and breathing, and it's like outside their window somewhere, staring in at them. But it's just a platform. It's multiple platforms, but it's a platform to be able to have a conversation with people, and you help people very much so to be able to have that conversation in a coherent, natural way. And can you talk about why this is so important from a broad perspective, right? What the power is underlying and being able to communicate with people one to one, but one times 1,000, or one times 10,000, or one times 100,000 potentially. What does that do for people to be able to have that power of that platform?
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I think I always bring it back to spirituality. I don't know why. I think you're a very spiritual person, Frederick, because you must be, because that's what I'm kind of channeling through you in a way, right? Uh, I'm reflecting something there, and I just want to bring it back to that. It's like, so everything is consciousness, right? Like everything, like this table, everything is like oscillating, like atoms, like inside the atom is just like an oscillating thing. They don't even know what it is, but inside
Mhm.
is like empty space. But they realize it's not. It's like, oh, it's actually consciousness. It's something that's alive. That everything's made out of this thing, and we're just a reflection. So
Mhm.
I bring
Mhm.
that because it's like everything is consciousness. The computer's consciousness, your camera's consciousness, people watching this virtually is consciousness. Like all of it is AI's consciousness, and AI is just here to help us because it's conscious, it's God. So it's like it's here to help us. If you think it's evil, it's just unconsciousness. If you think that like you're in the worldly space thinking that things are against you or whatever, and you have all your traumas reflecting back to you, but you're really just in that dimension, in that 3 dimension of fear. But if we bring it up to, oh, okay, everything's actually good for us. Everything is good for us, right? The
Mhm. Mhm.
consciousness is the AI is good for us. Like it's going to teach us, it's going to advance our consciousness. Maybe it's going to do some bad things, or but it's really for the advancement of consciousness, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Everything. So
Yeah.
if we just bring that to awareness, then we're like, oh, then like if I speak in front of more people on video, like how much are you going to impact? How many more people are you going to be able to raise their consciousness than just one-on-one? Like you only see so many people one-on-one, very little,
Right.
right? You probably
Right.
see like the same 5 people. And you can go to events stuff, which is really cool. I really hope that we can start doing more events. I've been kind of hiding away
Mhm.
for a long time, but right now it's the internet, is social media, is video. It's like live, like stuff that we're doing here is amazing. We're in front of people. I think you put this in YouTube too, right? So you get people to see it. So like, how much is that going to impact? They might be able to clip up some videos from here and then make them in short form. And then how many people is that going to impact? So it's like such a good medium to just pour it out with full open heart consciousness, with the intention of raising consciousness. Then you're just helping more people. So when you say powerful, making an impact, like, yeah, all that stuff with video.
Yeah, I love that answer. I think it's absolutely true. I think a lot of people, um, and you alluded to it earlier, right? Being in your head,
Mm.
literally being in your head keeps all the information, all the value, all the help that you can offer people in a trapped, confined space that is only turning into poison, right? Because literally all the things you have that are in there that are good that can help people are in there with all these negative thoughts, and they're just getting jumbled up together, and so it never pours out. And so literally the process of having someone like you, of having this medium where you can have these conversations with people and connect with them, is so valuable because um, you can't help anyone unless you actually get out and connect with them. And so this is the power of being able to do that on that level. And look, I remember someone said this a long time ago, but well, I heard it a long time ago, and I've heard it several times since. But it's literally that um, everyone starts from zero. You know, you the first time you start is going to be terrible compared to the next time. You're only going to get better, and when you look back, you're going to say, "How terrible was I?" And then whatever point you're at, 10 years from then, you'll look back and say, "Man, I was terrible. I had to." But growth is part of the process, and we shouldn't judge ourselves in the moment for being. It would be like a baby who's crawling on the floor, judging himself for not being able to walk. Right? You know, babies don't do that. Neither should we. So literally being able to take that process and just be able to move, and hopefully the thing that we're able to do here is to be able to give you all confidence in your ability to communicate, right? So removing some of the technical barriers, removing some of the fear of being able to speak, and some of the give you more confidence that what you're going to do is visually going to be more appealing, more attractive, etc. um, I want to ask you about just attracting attention, right, with video. What are some keys or some tips that you can give people around just being able to, from a visual standpoint, when I'm scrolling, when people are scrolling on their feed, how do I get them to interrupt what they're doing? Pattern interrupts, things of that nature. What are some things that people can be thinking about to make what they do more attractive to their audience?
Mhm. I'm like literally writing this down and writing some of the answers that kind of just came up right away. But basically, to interrupt, so hook, creative, cover, thumbnail is the first thing that came up, and then there's hook on the video, and then there's like hook on the post. Because when you see the thing, the first thing you see on the video is, what do you see? The first cover. It's like in a reel, right? You see a cover or a
Mhm.
thumbnail in YouTube. So what is the first thing that I see? And if that has some words, then you can cue in the person what this is about. Let me see. So having the hook on the video title and then having the hook on the post. Can I share my screen real quick? Because I think this will really help
Absolutely.
everyone. Instagram.
Let me.
I wonder if the sound will work or not, but that's okay.
Are you able to do? You should have
I
ability.
think oh yeah. Let me try that. So Anthony. Show you Anthony. And okay, let me go back to StreamYard and then go to present.
Yep.
Share screen. Let me see. Share screen. Just check. Follow. Oh, okay. So there are some steps to share screen, present.
While people are doing
remember, remember we did that. Okay, sorry. Yeah, I can only share. Sorry, go ahead.
No. Would I have to share switch the layout? Is that what I have to do?
No, I have to share only one window at a time, so I can share the sound. If I share the whole screen, I can't hear the sound. Remember? I think I remember that.
That's what it was.
Okay. So let me show you Anthony.
For those of you who are in the audience, there you go. While Juan's doing this, if you have questions for us, make sure you drop those in the comments as well. Things you've been wondering, some issues you've been having as well. We want to make this interactive for you too, so you get all the value that you came for here tonight.
Okay,
let me
so
add that. There we
go. This is another one that was good. 3,003. Some of them went viral. Some of them had. But yeah, do you see this? So the hook is super important. Like, fuck your potential dudes instead. Successful entrepreneurs do this well. The quickest way to 30K months. The secret
so very clearly exactly what the video is about.
Exactly. And then when they're scrolling, they also see the rehook is what we call it. And then you got to send them somewhere, right? And then so that's one way. And then the other way is to send them to, this is all important. I think this is part of the scroll. You immediately get them to stop the scroll with the video title burnt into on the video. And then the next thing they're going to do within 1 second is click on see more. And then they're going to read that really fast because we became really fast readers. We can digest something really quick to see if it's good. So for example, this one, I wonder if you can hear the sound. Let me know.
Based marketing has been around for a long time. Companies do it every day. The difference is most of your small business owners, they're giving away pens, coffee mugs. That doesn't excite nobody. A bottle of wine.
Can you hear that, Frederick?
Yeah, we hear you.
Oh, cool.
Okay. And Uncle Joe's there, and everyone in the family goes, Uncle Joe, we saw you were down in Mexico. That trip looked like it was amazing, and man, it looked like you had so much fun. And Uncle Joe goes, yeah, you guys won't believe it. I went on that trip, but you know who gave it to me? They're like, who? My realtor gave it to me. They're like, what? Your realtor? I'm thinking about selling my house. Can I talk to your realtor? My insurance professional gave it to me. Your insurance professional? What? Yeah, just for coming in to get a quote. And guess what? Every year he sends me on vacation. My chiropractor, because I've been a client, every year he sends me on a vacation. You want to be able to separate yourself from everybody else.
Book your incentive trip today. Visit tripvaletincentives.com.
Incentive-based marketing has been around for a long time.
When you're scrolling, you're going to see the hook on the thing, and then the rehook, and then a more specific call to action, like start your 7 free-day trial. Like the one I showed with Anthony was just like follow me for more, and this one we're actually sending them to do some kind of action. Same with Brian. And then here you want to book a free growth consultation, and he's got a. Let me see. Does he have a? Yeah, he's got a. Perfect. The booking appointment thing. So it's very important as well to turn this, like I'm kind of showing you the whole thing right away, but you kind of just asked me one question about hooks, how to stop the scroll, and I came up with like a whole long-winded answer. But yeah, creative, cover, thumbnail, hook, rehook, and then making sure you send them to your ecosystem to book an appointment and make a sale. That's the most important thing out of all video, I can say, is we want to just drive all the traffic to making money.
So creative, thumbnail, cover, hook, rehook, and call to action.
They're going to see the call to action within seconds anyway. So stop the scroll, see more, read 3 lines, send me somewhere. And then they're probably going to watch the reel a few times, maybe, if it's really good. They're going to be like, they're going to watch it maybe a couple times. If it's really short, they'll watch it a couple times.
And talk about the power of editing it so that people do want to watch it. So because the thing about reels, right, and you notice this, sometimes you'll be back at the top of it and watching it again before you even realize it. Or it starts pre-rolling, and if you tap on it, then you miss the first couple of seconds while it's like already going. So talk a little bit about the psychology of that and why that's so effective.
Yeah, I mean, having a good cut. So you want to have a good cut that they want to watch again. They're like, oh, this was fun to watch. I'm going to watch it again. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Or like, oh, that was cool info. Let me hear that again. So it's about the cut. It could be any length, 7, 10, 15, 30, 60 seconds. But if it was entertaining, like I was actually going to ask you, how did you feel about that video that I just showed you with Jimmy?
First of all, yeah, it was good because I'm not a realtor or an insurance professional, but as an entrepreneur, I'm always thinking about ways to separate myself, right? And so a couple of things that I noticed about it was he presented this problem, kind of created it as a problem, but it seemed like it was low level, but now he elevated the level of the problem. A lot of people do this and they don't think it was a problem. It's ordinary, but when you're doing it, you're not standing apart. And then he gave a great example, told a great story, right? And I'm halfway into the story before I realize an example. So Uncle Joe goes to Mexico and he's like, so the hook, there's actually a hook at the end of the story that really seals the deal. And now I'm thinking, and I think the great thing about it is I'm thinking he's a realtor talking about how he separates himself, but he's a trip, what do you call it? A travel agent or whatever, or something. He's got some kind of travel agency or business. So clearly now he doesn't even have to necessarily have to give a call to action because I'm like, I want to know more. How do I use this guy to be able to use his business to separate him? So I think it's a highly effective video. And there's no dancing, there's no bells and whistles. It's just, pretty straightforward. So
he felt it. He felt that the message, the cut was him feeling that message, like really feeling it. At the beginning of the interview, he was just firing information. And I was like, bro, I'm not feeling anything. Like you're just giving me electric energy, shocking me with your third eye right here. And I'm like, I want you to speak to me from here, from your magnetic energy, from your solar plexus. Like, so I had to like drop in with him and just kind of slow down and be like, why do you do this? Tell me why, what's your mission? And then we start from there. And then if I bring that into his emotions, then cool. Now, can you tell me again how this trip incentive thing works? And then he's got that emotion. He's like, oh yeah, well, and he gets into it. So it's really, really good getting the person into it. So anyways, I'm kind of talking about myself, but what makes a video viral is feeling it. I guess that's where I was going with that. It's like if it's a good cut, that it creates some kind of emotion of empathy, that's when people want to watch it. Or if it's like just an insanely well delivered amount of value, like Alex Hermosi, like I can rewatch his videos all the time.
Right.
And just a combination of everything, combination of empathy, combination of value, combination of delivery, communication. It's like just like, wow, this is just incredible value. I mean, I watch Alex. I think I've built my business just watching his reels, to be honest. Like my mindset and everything, it's just ridiculous amount of value. So it's like, of course, I'm gonna keep watching your stuff and rewatching it Like when I watch one of his reels, I watch it at least twice every single time.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Hopefully that answered your question.
No, yeah, that was good. Somebody wants to know if we can watch it, run it again now that they know what to look for.
Oh, sure. Let me present.
Actually, I think that's a good thing. We can kind of talk about some of the different aspects. I think some other things might stand out that you can kind of share.
Yeah, for sure. I would think it was this one.
Marketing has been around for a long time. Companies do it every day. The difference is most of your small business owners, they're giving away pens, coffee mugs. That doesn't excite nobody. You know, a bottle of wine, those are fine. But think about this. If you're sitting around a dining room table, okay, and Uncle Joe's there, and everyone in the family goes, Uncle Joe, we saw you were down in Mexico. That trip looked like it was amazing. And man, looked like you had so much fun. And Uncle Joe goes, yeah, you guys won't believe it. I went on that trip, but you know who gave it to me? They're like, who? My realtor gave it to me. They're like, what? Your realtor? You know, I'm thinking about selling my house. Can I talk to your realtor? My insurance professional gave it to me. Your insurance? What? Yeah, just for coming in to get a quote. And guess what? Every year he sends me on vacation. My chiropractor, because I've been a client, every year he sends me on a vacation. You want to be able to separate yourself from everybody else.
Book your incentive trip today. Visit tripvalletincentives.com.
Incentive-based marketing has been around.
Let me pause it. Yeah. So we can talk about the video or we can talk about the hooks as well. So we can start with the video. If you guys, does anybody have questions specifically, or what did you think?
Yeah, well, drop your questions in the comments. There's because you've seen it again. Now you kind of may have some other questions as well. I think so. I'm trying to analyze this from based on what we talked about, but he's basically talking about something. The way that he's talking about it when he comes in, right? What is it? Incentive-based marketing. Now, I'm not necessarily, that sounds boring, right? But the fact that he's saying that it's been around for a long time. Yeah, okay, it's been around for a long time. He's teasing that there's something else that he's going to talk about, right? So either he's going to be talking about this incentive-based marketing and it's been around for a long time, which means that either I didn't know about it or I didn't care about it, or it's, you got a couple more seconds to hook me. But then he starts talking about what other people are doing, right? You know, a lot of people do stuff, but then he calls it boring. And so for me, I'm familiar with people giving away pens, and that sounds like the regular idea. Oh, wait. So if I do that, I'm boring. I don't want to be boring. So how can I, you know, not be boring? How do I? And so now he starts talking about the other thing. And then that's when he kind of got into the story about Uncle Joe to me. And I'm glad you shared about the fact that he was feeling it, right? So, I mean, talk about that a little bit because I could see his energy. He's telling the story about Uncle Joe, showing the picture, and all of a sudden it's like this brightness kind of enters into the video, right? And I think like that's a shift in the energy as well. But go ahead, take it from there.
Yeah. So the first thing that comes to mind is, well, we played a game. We we got to know each other a little bit through WhatsApp. Like I usually take them through a WhatsApp and like the form and like just chatting, and like we had an intro call and then just getting to know each other. We liked each other. Cool. So and then we set up the equipment, make sure it looks really good. Like the intention of the film is to like create content, great. And then we go into it, and then he's just like, "All right, Pump, I'll give it to me." And I was like, so it's bringing them from there to back to our just original selves, and then doing that quickly enough with just getting them into laugh. Really, you just want to get them to laugh. So we just play the ball game because it's just hilarious, where we create stories with the words and we just like go all over the place, and then we keep playing the games, dropping them in, doing the breathing, and then getting them through the first 10 minutes of real boring stuff. The beginning is really boring because we're just getting started, but then it's like, oh, do me a favor, let's stop that and let's play again and record again, just to chunk the files smaller, right? And I actually need them smaller, but that seemed to be a thing that he was like, okay, stop, and then we're gonna do another one. And now there's a second wind of like awareness of okay, I like this. And then I ask him another question, and he's like, yeah, I'm into it. You know, like I can really want to respond to you. Like, you know, we're engaging in a conversation with him, and I'm really listening deeply. I'm making notes on every single word he's saying. And then I repeat it back to him. It's like, this is what I heard. It's like, yeah, and then he like repeats it again, or the conversation takes another direction, and then we go back to the original point with that level of energy. So it's just like navigating the interview to a place where they can just truly be their most empowered selves on video possible.
One of the things that I'm hearing from your process is that you're creating a shortcut because you're able to give people feedback in the moment, right? And for most people, the hard part about doing video is that you have to put it out to get the feedback. And the feedback is not necessarily directly to you unless it's really bad. It's really more so in the views and engagement. And so you kind of have to gauge what the people are saying in the comments and stuff like that. And you see which videos perform better. And so this takes time. And what you're doing is you're kind of telling them from the very get-go. He's recording the video and you're saying, yeah, I'm not feeling that, right? But also the conversation allows him to get more warmed up. And so here's the other takeaway that I'm getting from that is that you can't get other people excited about your marketing. Like your marketing is not going to get people excited about what you do if you're not excited about it, right? And so you asked him a key question, like, what is the point of all this? Why is it? And then when he started talking about it and really getting into it, like it helps him to uncover or unpack the real value of what he does, right? It's a separator. And so I don't know if you want to speak to that or share any other insight around that, but that's kind of what I picked up on is that there has to be a light inside of you around what you do. And I think for a lot of people, especially they see the video as a obstacle or deterrent from sharing instead of them coming from a place of I'm excited about this and I wanted to get out no matter what. And now it kind of removes the barrier. There's no wall in between. And that's when you really start to be able to connect with people. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. Yeah, basically it's a lot of principles on from filming documentaries too. I've never filmed a documentary, but I kind of love documentaries. And it's like I always wondered, like, how do they get these people to be like so calm on camera? And they're just random people when they're just interviewing them. And it turns out that there's like a very, very, very long process in getting acquainted with them and friending them and being with them for a long time before they actually even start shooting. They build a bond and they have extreme empathy for like a week before you start shooting with them. So I'm trying to do that in like an hour. I'm trying to build empathy and like all that stuff all at the same time. Not like we're shooting a documentary or anything, but because there's not that extent of time to shoot a documentary, you need like months, right?
Right.
But we're just shooting 30 videos. We're shooting 30 reels. Like I'm sure I'd be able to build enough empathy. And like if it's the right person too, like it has to be like I was just talking to the other group. It's like, okay, fill out the form because we're talking to realtors in that group. And I was like, but before you fill out the form, you have to satisfy 2 criteria. You have to be awesome and you have to be positive energy. Right. Otherwise don't book a call. So yeah, if it's the right person and we vibe, if you have an open heart, if you're a good person and you have skills and people need to know about them, yeah, I'm gonna be super interested. I want to draw that out of you for sure from the heart.
I mean, you talked about it, not being a documentary, but I do think that there is an element of, with documentaries, it's kind of like revealing a truth, right? And so there has to be an alignment with the truth. And I think people are the most calm, or should be, hopefully, unless they're a sociopath, they should be the most calm when they're just telling the truth, like their truth, the truth that connects them with other people. I think that's something that really resonates. And obviously you have a skill in being able to do that and to be able to draw that out. So you're kind of what did you call it? You're a hyper documentarian because you accelerate the process from 30 days to 30 minutes or whatever, an hour. But talk about and I think you kind of alluded to this at the beginning, dropping into your body and things like that. But also the aspect of telling the truth, being a truth teller in your marketing and in your videos. Do you have any thoughts on that, or any lessons that you learned for people? Because I do think that there is a hesitation or even maybe an anxiety that some people have around marketing. Like it has to be more hyped. It has to be super special. It has to be all these other things. Is there an element of just being able to tap into the truth? And then I have a follow-up question about the technical aspects of kind of chopping that up into 30 videos.
Yeah. Super cool questions. They both tie in. Yeah. So yeah. So anxiety about marketing, being all hyped and special, and have the ability to tap into the truth. Truth marketing.
I feel like I should ask you for your notes on this.
Yeah, for sure, man. And actually, it's a huge component. It's a small hack, but it's a huge component on helping people draw themselves. Is actually writing what they're saying, and like in my own words or as fast as I can, or the key words, right? And it allows for space, allows for a little bit of space, a little bit of a delay for the person to see that you're acutely listening, not just a listening, you're writing their notes and you're actually finishing the note. It takes an additional 5-7 seconds, and that 5-7 seconds turns something of like trust. So I can be me, and I can tell you what's up. I can tell you me, because he's really listening. He's really interested. So the writing is a big part of it. Yeah. And I'll definitely send it to you. But yeah, actually, to answer your question, it's like dropping into your body, telling the truth, or dropping into your body was one component of it, but then also like enabling them to tap into telling the truth instead of anxiety marketing, hyped up, special. People are starting to see right through that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone's waking up at the same time, like in mass, and people are just more conscious than ever before. So they know. Ability to tap into the truth is actually the note taking.
Yeah.
The whole process. So I guess it goes from getting to really know them and like them through Messenger and WhatsApp, onboarding them, and then you build so much rapport there, and like your communication style, your approach, like they get to feel you and experience you right away, just in the communication, just on the onboarding. And then you bring them into getting them set up, and then playing games, dropping in, and then building that empathy and writing notes, listening acutely, and then guiding them and just supporting them energetically throughout the whole process. And then at the end, they're usually so happy and excited. Like it's like the most rewarding thing for me too. They're just so happy and excited that we spent that time together and we recorded so much really cool, heartfelt stuff. And it's like, oh man, I can't wait to see these videos. And I'm like, me neither. Send it over. So we send it over, and then we clip it up. So it kind of segues into the technical aspects of editing. We need to create a cut that, like, for example, that Jimmy video, there was like a lot of stuttering, and he told a story about a dentist, but it didn't flow right, so I cut it out. There was some connection sentences or some hums that everything had to be real nice and timed. Like the whole script had to be post-edited in a way. So we draw out the authentic version of you, and then we clip up the little bit of mistakes there, so the video is fluid and it's impactful. Because now we're talking about post-editing. Now we're talking about marketing. We're like, the truth is what you're saying, and then we're gonna clip it so then it's like it flows, so people are able to digest it. They're able to read it easily. They're able to hear it easily. They're able to illustrate the story easily, be able to understand the story easily, and add some music. I love music, man. Music is my thing. I think I got into video editing because of music, to be honest, because like music makes so much emotion for me. Like, man, I cry singing. Like I'm music. Like sometimes I listen to music and I'm gonna cry. Like incredible music, or I get so into it, and then I start dancing, and like, you know, I just love music. And then when you add music, and then you have visuals now, it's like,
Yeah.
whoa, I have music and I have visuals, like, and you're telling me something that's, oh, whoa, it's like a full experience. So I think that's why I got kind of into video. So I like adding that music component because it creates more emotion, even more emotion.
Mhm. Yeah, I
So
agree.
yeah,
I agree. I think sometimes people think that they watch a clip and they think that what the person is saying is so impactful, but there's the subtext of the music underneath it that's really conveying the heart of the emotion, right? And when you connect the right music with the right message, it's transformative. I think that's an alignment of truth that you know. It's funny, we're doing this masterclass and it's talking about video, and there's a lot of technical aspects of it, but it's really a spiritual conversation that I think we're having here. I think that if the only thing that people walked away with was that they could learn, just have the courage to speak their truth, right? Whether or not you believe you have that, I think that they would continually be able to get better and better. They will connect with people more deeply, whether they had great editing, whatever the case may be. But understanding all these elements and pulling them all together now makes it more intuitive. And then having someone like you as a partner, a collaborator, where all they have to do is show up as themselves, fully as themselves, and allow you to handle some of those technical aspects, I think that also supports it as well. And here's the thing. Yes, I am promoting Wampa and his service, but it's not about promoting that. I think we just want to highlight the fact that there's a lot of different elements that go into this. And sometimes people just see a cool video and they're not really aware of why it's going viral. They're not really aware of why it's having all the impact that it's having. And there are a lot of those different elements that are going into bear to make that happen. And whether you own a plumbing service, whether you own a dental service, whether you're a coach, whether you have a dating app, whatever it is that your business is, there's a lot of different elements that go into influencing people to be able to make a decision to choose you. And you need to be focused and understand that these things are all important part of it. And when you're paying for marketing, when you're creating the creative, there's a lot that goes into it. So it's not just, how much does it cost? How can I do it for the cheap? Let me just get on Instagram and hold up my phone, right? Am I right?
yeah. Oh, I cut there for a little bit. Yeah, exactly. 100%. 100%. There's a lot that goes into it. So when you look at a film, any film, there's so many elements to illustrate each scene, to illustrate and to tell the story. So it's tied into the story. So the way you show up on the camera, it's going to show. And then the way that we make the cuts, it's going to show. And then the elements that we use and the images that we use to illustrate the point is also going to make an impact. The whole thing is going to, and then the music is going to make an impact. And the hook and the rehook and the call to action, it's all going to make an impact. To take them through your brand journey now. Like now we tie this into business, is like now we need to tie this message into bringing them into your ecosystem, into your funnels, which an email list is a funnel, your community is a funnel, you have a landing page that's a funnel, and then even just talking to them on following them or getting them to follow you and having a conversation with them on the DM, like a DM script on Instagram or Messenger, is a funnel. So that you're bringing them into your ecosystem so they can experience more of you. So then now you can show them more videos of you, basically.
More and more. We got another question about asking, please say more about the hook. What more can we say about that? Can you be more specific about your question? I think that would help us to make sure we're giving you the exact
This
value.
will help. I think this will help them. This and I shared this with you last time, so maybe we can share them to the audience here this time around again. And so we use this to So we write the hooks for the client, by the way. So we write the hooks for you. So for the conversational videos, that's all that we talked about was conversational videos. And then pulling that out from just having a conversation with me. And then we also have scripted videos. That's the second round of videos. And that's also very important because we're speaking directly to the camera and you're giving a key takeaway somebody can go and implement and change their life.
Right.
And it happens with the conversational ones too, but it's different. It's like you're showcasing more of your personality and the value that you bring. Sometimes you do give key takeaways on the conversational, but the scripted ones are specifically intentionally to give a specific problem, solution to the problem, how to solve the problem, and outline the steps, and then the call to action to drive them to your email address. And this one, you're actually saying it in the video. Hey, if you like videos like this, go to the link in my bio and download my resource guide, and I'll see you on the next video piece. And you say that at the end of every video. So we write the hooks in red, and then this is Brian Tully, estate planning attorney, and he wrote it. He wrote the solution transformation CTA for all of these hooks. So I write the red, he writes the solution, and then these are the steps, and then the call to action. And then so this is all about estate planning. So like, do you want to avoid a large tax bill? Listen up. Warning, you're not protected. Disclaimer, you're gonna die. Huge red flag, declining capacity, how to deal with it. This is, by the way, really interesting information. We wrote the hooks so then he knows how to answer them. We write the hook, and then he's the expert. He's been doing estate planning for 25 years. So he wrote the lines. And then when we went to record, then we had scripted ones. So we had conversational ones and scripted ones. I think it's this one. Yeah, so we have scripted. Oh, okay. I don't have any conversationals here on my window. I'll just show you a scripted one. Let me see. So he's looking directly at the camera. Oh, you know what? I think you won't be able to hear me unless I share. You weren't able to hear that, right?
No,
because I have to share the. Here we go.
The real reason you're avoiding estate planning and how to fix it. Only 1/3 of us have a will in place, and even less have a complete estate plan in place. Don't you want to protect your assets, provide for your family, have peace of mind? I get it. Estate planning is about some very difficult topics: money, mortality, your health, and family. People like to avoid these issues, but if you avoid them for too long, then a crisis can strike. So how do we fix this? Well, you need to find an experienced elder care and estate planning attorney. Look online. Read reviews, look at the website, talk to your friends, talk to your trusted advisor. Do not use the internet for your estate planning, and do not use a general practice attorney for your estate planning. This is some of the most important work you can do for your family, for your assets, and for your legacy, and you want it done right the first time. To get the help you need, give us a call today or download the guidebook in my bio.
Okay, so that B-roll there, we need to remove that B-roll. That was kind of scary lady there. And by the way, Brian didn't want any emojis at all, so that's why we customized it to him. So yeah, we also customized very specific to the brand. He didn't like the emojis, like just keep it plain, and I was like, okay, I'll do whatever you tell me. But that was a scripted one, and I'm going to see if I can find a quick conversational one so you see the difference. So that one, he was speaking directly to the camera, clearly. And then now you're going to see the conversational one. The conversational one is very cool because it's like really into. Okay, let me share the screen again. We actually posted one. Here we go. So we have this one.
That type of love and admiration and respect for family combined with law school, it all came together during a couple of classes. I took an elder law class, I took an estate planning class. My whole career of 25 years has been devoted to helping families and seniors deal with these aging and elder care issues. I've never done anything else. So attorneys join a certain practice of law. Oh, I want to be a personal injury attorney. I want to be a divorce attorney. I've always wanted to be an elder care attorney. I just never knew it. I don't say I chose elder law. I've always said elder law has chosen me based on just my life experiences and my desire to help families. That type of love and admiration and respect for family.
Yeah. Yeah, he was about to cry there.
And I don't know if people could hear the music behind it.
Oh,
it was
really?
kind of faint here. But yeah, but I can tell, I can hear it in between the pauses, and I can tell that that's a big part of adding to the emotion of what he's saying there. I mean, I can feel it just in his words, but I can imagine it with the music. It just heightens the emotion around that.
So to answer
And
the question
remember
about hooks, yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, I think it's. I mean, the hook is the like we talked about the title and then the rehook. But I think to answer the question more broadly, it's like I think it's everything. The intention, the first few seconds, it's gonna make the whole difference. So your intention on the topic, like how you're projecting it and you're feeling it. I think that's all part of the hook too. How you're basically telling the story. So from the very beginning to the end, the post, the way the post is written, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, you were saying. I remember you something you were about to say.
No, I remember you shared this video in our last masterclass, and but it struck me that I didn't hear the music before, and I was having the conversation about music. It kind of stuck out to me even more so, and I said, okay, so it makes a lot of sense, and all right, I'm great. They said that helped in the comments. That's great. One of the things that because there's so much to this. We could probably go on for another hour and a half and 2 hours talking about different tips and things of that nature. I think maybe one of the things that would most be valuable as we're getting ready to wrap up here would be how someone can think about incorporating their video. Obviously the ideal thing would be to work with you, right? To fill out the form and to work with you. But if they just want to get started or they want to add another element of effectiveness, of connectivity to their videos, where would you recommend that they start? And how can they add more consistency to keep going after they've done that first video? And, it was hard, but they did it. But now they got to do it again, right? And again and again. So how do they get started, and how do they keep going? And I love that you're taking notes, because this is something I do on sales calls and consult calls. I take a lot of notes as well, and I have found that to be very effective for me as well as for the clients that I'm working with.
Yeah, it creates a little buffer of information transferage. So the first thing that came to me when you said that was the fastest way to get content is to have a friend interview you, and have a space, have somebody that you trust ask you specific questions, like take them through the same process, like ask them what their clients' problems are and how they solve them. Create like a series of questions that you would like somebody to ask you, and then just have them ask them to you. That would probably be the fastest way. Somebody that you trust. And maybe that's a good idea. Maybe I'll just create like a training video on how somebody can train somebody on how to interview them, open their heart, create a safe space. It's not like a joke or a funny thing, or you're going to do a rush. Like, no, this a very serious and important thing for you, and you would love the help to create the space to be able to share your most authentic self, and for the intentions and purposes of creating content for social media. And I think that would help a lot of people probably like get their buddies to like intentionally do interviews and help them create content. I just thought about that. I was thinking of running
really
a training on my group about that. So maybe I'll do that.
Plug your group as well, so people can know what that is.
Yeah, cool. Thanks, man. And I think I'm changing the name. I don't know. Tell me what you think. It's called Video Marketing Profit. Call it Video Profits Community for coaches and consultants. And I'm thinking of changing it to Video Traffic and Conversions.
It's so one sounds more, the second one sounds more technical. I don't know. I don't know what you're going for. Are you shifting the type of people? You're going wider than just coaches and consultants, or?
Yeah, I guess I gotta coaches. Yeah, I guess it's just anyone or entrepreneurs, maybe.
Entrepreneurs in general. Yeah.
Should I? Maybe,
So that might be something. I think
that kinda
traffic
what you're
conversion
thinking?
sounds more marketing ish.
Just drop the link in the group. Cool. Yeah. Anyways, it's Video Marketing Profits right now. Join the Video Marketing Profits community. I'm gonna put some stuff in there, and I'll train you guys on how to do that on your own, or you can just hire me. But I'm sure you can probably that little course, a little bit of training video will help you get somebody to do it. If you just want to, bootstrap it, get somebody to interview you, and then I can even teach you how to source it to Philippines to clip it up, to have like a video editor that will clip it up for, I don't know, $20 a video, $20 to $25 a video. And then you can just not do it. Or maybe I can even teach you how to use. So I use the software called Kapwing. I'll drop it in as well.
Okay.
Kapwing.com. It's very easy editing software. Just drop it, and it has this magic tool that you click it, and then it removes all the empty sections, and then it compresses to only when people are speaking. And then you can just go through it and easily like clip up sections of it. So you can just literally do it yourself if you don't want to spend $20 a video. And they have really good tutorials. So this is another great tool.
What's that site again? You said Cupwing?
Yeah, I just dropped it in the comments. Kapwing.com. Kapwing. It's kind of a funny name.
Got it.
Oh,
okay.
Charlotte is saying plane.com.
Yes. She didn't understand what the name was. You just put it in the chat. Yes, Capwing.
Oh, Kapwing. Yeah, it's Kapwing.
Yeah. All right, cool. No, I think that's valuable as well for people to be able to know how to do that.
Yeah, and I guess in front of the camera tips is like if you're gonna do it with somebody, passing the ball game. You pass the ball game back and forth, saying different things that whatever you think of. I think we played it in our last call, right? Like I would say a word. I don't remember. Or not.
I don't think we did. I don't think we did. Yeah.
So
go ahead and elaborate on that.
Ball, and I'm gonna pass it to you, and you're gonna receive it. Ready? You see me passing you the ball? Okay, go. I'm gonna pass it back. Okay, I got it. So now I'm gonna say a word, and you're gonna repeat the word. Ready? Green.
Green.
Okay, awesome. Thanks. Now I'm gonna say a word, and then you're gonna repeat the word and say whatever word comes to mind right away.
Okay.
Ready? So, water bottle.
Water spout.
So you would repeat it. You don't have to, but if you say water bottle, water spout, and then I would say water spout, water.
Water, desert.
Desert camel.
Camel, chic.
Chic, sword.
Sword, knight.
Night bandana.
Bandana bandit.
Bandit boots.
Boots cowboy.
Cowboy hat.
Hat baseball.
Baseball glove.
Glove tennis.
Tennis skirt.
Skirt pants.
Pants socks.
Socks shoes.
Shoes shoelaces.
Shoelaces. Shoelaces basketball.
So you see how there was a bit of a delay there, right? Because
Right.
we're and it's pretty slow actually, because we're thinking a lot still, and this is okay because right now we're in a live, right? So we're thinking, but we're also present. But when you do that game and you do it faster and faster and faster, it gets sometimes kind of ridiculous and out of hand. And so we play that game a few times. So like if we were in a call, I would that would be a good warm up. But we would do that like probably like 3 or 4 or 5 times, and then it would get really fast, and it would get really funny. So play that game with your friends, and if you're by yourself, so now that's if you get somebody to interview you, play that game, get some interview questions, clip it up, go to Upwork.com. You can find somebody for $20 a video, try it out, see how it works. And the other way is you want to just do it yourself. Get a good tripod that you can put on your desk. Get your phone at eye level. Get some nice lighting to light up one side of your face so you have a cinematic view. And then when you are on camera mode here, you want to look at the camera lens. Don't look at yourself. Look at the camera lens. And as far as framing, you want to get your framing so then you are tilting the phone forward a bit. So then you have more of a Superman face, like it's emphasizing more of your forehead and less of your chin. Otherwise, if it's too low and too flat, now it's going to emphasize the jaw, and you're going to look more like a Shrek. So you don't want to have that Shrek-looking face. You want to have more of the Superman look. So then you bring it up and you tilt it forward. Then your face looks like pointing down the triangle. Then you get your. I'm going to take a picture here so you guys can see, and then you get your elbows in the frame. And then this kind of framing, like this. Oh, it's counting down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then have this kind of framing. Okay.
Gotcha. Okay.
And you plug in a wired mic for $20. Make sure it's wired because it's easy. The wireless ones sometimes they are fuzzy, or they don't pair correctly, or they're just too loud. And so just get one that just plugs into your phone. For iPhone, you need an adapter. Plug it in. You literally clap to yourself, and then you say action. Okay. And actually, before you do this, what I would do is I would go around the room naming things out loud by myself. Like I'll be like painting, cable, light, separator, curtain, window, painting, bag, yoga mat, foam, headphones, speaker, teddy bear, painting, water cooler, aloe vera, tent. Like I just start basically naming everything around your house. And that's going to get you to be more instinctual. It's also going to activate your instincts so you're not so heady. Then when you do that, then you step in and you have your phone set up. Take a deep breath and you feel it in your solar plexus here, your diaphragm, and you exhale, releasing all the energy in your shoulders and jaw. You say action, and then you start speaking to the camera. Just start speaking to the camera. That's the biggest tip I can give you. Just start speaking to the camera. Say, all right, I'm making this video about this thing, and I'm just practicing, and I'm looking directly at the camera lens, and I just want to get more comfortable on camera. I'm going to start making distinctions about the way that I'm moving my body, and I'm using my voice, my pitch, my tone, and my intonations, and how I speak. I don't know. I'm just kind of making it up on the go here. But you just kind of say stuff to yourself, and you pause. Then, if you have an idea that you want to write down, you write a notebook, and you write down what you're going to talk about. Okay, I really want to talk about this thing, and you write a line, and then maybe 3 bullet points. Okay, now you know what you're going to say. And sometimes what I do is like before I press record, I say it. So it's like, okay, I'm going to be talking about this, and this is my energy, and this is how I'm moving my body language. I have oxygen in my lungs, so I won't forget what I'm going to say. And then you read it, and then you speak it into the camera, and then you do that. You got to practice, right? You got to practice your lines. You got to practice being on camera. You got to keep practicing and keep practicing and keep practicing. Then you have a good editor. You send it to them and say, hey, let me know if you found anything good here. And then you pay them $20 an hour or $20 per video. Or you can do it yourself, but I don't recommend that. Honestly, like I can teach you all of this. I can teach you everything I know. But as a realtor or as a business owner, entrepreneur, CEO, coach, multi-6, multi-7-figure coach, business earner, like you don't want to be spending your time editing. I mean, if you're just getting started and you really need to get bootstrapped, kapwing, record yourself, get a friend, family member to interview you, you can do it. But for editing, just source it out. You can find somebody on Upwork or Fiverr and give it a try. It gets a little difficult because they just have like a standardized template. So you're just going to fall into their template pretty much. But that's okay to get started. Then you can pay more for like $30 or $40 or $50 a video and get it branded, right? And then it's like more specific. But the video, that I would say like those are the main tips that can get you making videos like right away. Yeah.
Martina said she has approval to talk to herself. So she likes that. That's really good, man. Tips on how to center yourself, how to get started, how to get going. Look, we've given you 2 masterclasses on this topic. Juan Paz dropped an incredible ton of value. I also dropped above in the comments the hooks, the document that he shared to be able to do that as well. If you want the other document and you were not on the first video, go back and watch the first video, but he also referenced another document that he gave away for free. And if you want that, then drop that in the comments. Say, what do we say?
Yeah, I was just going to drop the link. Actually, Notion. It's a Notion document. You have to make a copy, create a Notion account. If you've never heard of Notion, it's amazing. And it's free. And make a copy of the document.
There you go.
And there you go. So I'm gonna just drop you this one. It's locked, so you can't edit it, but you can make a copy. Copy link.
There you
and go. 7-figure dollar circle. That's right. Boom. That's the document. Approval to talk to myself, Martina. I love that. Yeah, permission to talk to yourself, permission to give yourself a pat in the back for all of the great work that you do every single day.
There you go.
This is cool.
Juan Pa, this has been really, really great, man. I appreciate it. He's given us almost 30, 45 minutes extra of his time. We usually book this out for an hour. So I'm really, really grateful for this, man. And for those of you who are watching this, drop a 1 in the comments if this has been helpful for you, it's been valuable for you. Juan Pa, how can people get in contact with you? They can follow you in the Facebook group, but if they want to work with you directly, what can they do?
Just DM me. What I'll do is as well, I have this document that kind of just talks about everything that I just talked about today. And it's kind of like our process and like everything. Basically, the conversational ones, the scripted ones, the whole process is an 8-page document that just basically explains to you how we do it. And at the bottom of it, there's a link for a video planning session for free, totally for free. Like I just want to get, if you feel like I'm a vibe with you, let's just meet and let's see if I can help you kind of call. And then I'm going to help you as much as I can during that hour to help you and point you in the right direction or literally make you an offer if I feel like it's the right thing. We have packages starting at $900. So I think we have it pretty accessible now for pretty much everyone. And, but yeah, I'll send you, is that okay with you if I just put this document in the, okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
And otherwise it's, Juanpa Otalora on Facebook and Instagram. That's pretty much all I use. I tried TikTok, but it's like, I don't know, man. It's like, I tried, I really did. It's so spammy and,
it's hilarious.
I don't know, but it gets you views. I don't know. I haven't really seen a lot of conversions in there either. Okay, I dropped document now. Cool.
I just realized I wasn't following you on Instagram, so I'm following you on Instagram now. So there we go.
Okay, cool.
Wampa, I really appreciate you, man. I appreciate your heart, your spirit. People don't often think of marketers or video people, social media people as having heart and really caring. I can tell that you do, man. I love what you do in terms of just helping people to be able to get their truth out. It's an underrated skill, right? But there's a story in all of us, and you help people to unlock that so they can tell in a way that really connects and really matters in terms of moving the needle for their business, yes, but being able to help more people. At the end of the day, that's why we do this. And I really want to affirm you and appreciate you for what you're doing, man. Thanks so much for spending your time with us.
Thank you, brother. Likewise to you. Unbelievable energy, super spiritual. I love it. And I really appreciate you for inviting me here twice. And if anybody needs help, reach out. And yeah, we should do this more often.
Hey, I agree. We'll find an excuse to do another one, some kind of way, some kind of training or something. If those of you who are watching this on replay, drop a hashtag replay. If you have a question, Wampa's in the group. But I would encourage you to join his group as well. We do a lot of things here to support entrepreneurs holistically. Wampa has this community where he is specifically helping people around this topic. Take advantage of it. I'm sure he's got a ton of resources and things in there. You can ask him questions directly. And most importantly, pay the man to help you get it done. Just if there's anything that we really want to encourage you to do is understand, make that investment in yourself. In 3 months, you won't even notice that you spent the money. You'll be so far ahead. You'll be making so much more money, and you'll be so much more confident in your ability to connect with the people that you want to be able to help, whatever your business is up to. So that being said, reach out to Wampa. Thanks, Wampa, so much. I appreciate you, man. For all of those of you, Seven Figure Circle, as always, man, we're here to support you. And it's been another masterclass ever forward.